Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so good morning once again. Welcome back to Morning Barbados on this Thursday. The time is going by so quickly. If there's something that you really feel like you should do, you absolutely should get on it. I know that sometimes we feel like, oh, that's so big a task. Where do I start? This next story will give you that inspiration you need to make a move. Let's welcome Annalie Bowen-Smith, who's CEO, as I told you, CEO and founder and organizer of Nit My Eyes Inc. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. So we're always reaching out to Barbadians near and far, and she's here this time, but you reside in the U.S.
Yes.
So you moved away from Barbados in 1989. Talk to me about that move.
Well, I moved because my dad and my mom, they migrated to the United States to make a better living for us. He was a part of the Barbados Defense Force, but you know, as they say, you move to the States to get a better life. So during the time we moved, I went through school. I graduated high school and went into college. Graduated as an occupational therapy from the Long Island University in Brooklyn, and my eyes started to deteriorate around that time. So after I had my daughter, you know, I started to work for Helen Keller Services for the Blind, where I met my husband, and what have you. But really and truly, my passion was more into fashion, and I did a couple of modeling shows and what have you, but success didn't really come to the year of 2020. So that's where everything went well for me, even though during the time of COVID, but it was a positive move for me. I entered a competition called the Face of Curvaceous, and Face of Curvaceous, that year actually I became runner-up, and then the following year I worked with a modeling coach, Miss Jeannie Ferguson. Shout out to my model coach, Miss Jeannie Ferguson. She worked with me, and I was able to win that same competition that I was runner-up for the previous year. And then from there, I became a cover girl for Smooches Women magazine, the summer edition. I was featured in many different magazines such as Queen Size magazine, La Model, Women Empowerment magazine, and the latest one is called La Model that I've been featured in.
All right, so let's take a little step back because you said your vision started to deteriorate at a certain point in time. Talk to me about what was happening with you at that point in time, and what caused your vision to deteriorate at that time.
Sure. So I have a condition, my brother and I, because I have two older brothers. My second older brother and myself, we have a eye condition called retinitis pigmentosus. So we only see through our true tunnel. We start to deteriorate peripherally. So you know, I realized that my eye visions was getting very bad. Like, you know, certain things I used to see, I can't see anymore. And so I was able to just try to adapt to it. Not everybody can't adapt to it, but I'm a person that's very determined, very confident, and I don't let things bother me. So I, you know, turned that around, me not seeing into me just adjusting to it.
How were you able to adjust? Talk to me about that. To still go through, you know what you were doing. Obviously, you said you had a qualification in occupational therapy.
Yes.
Did it mean that you had to pivot and look at something new that you had to do career-wise?
Yes.
How did it change your day-to-day?
It changed a lot. It changed in a negative way and a positive way because I was already set up. My mind was set to doing occupational therapy. So as you stated, you know, I had to pivot that because occupational therapy is a lot of hands-on and a lot of, as far as, you know, you visual, put it like that. So I end up working at the Helen Keller Services for the Blind as a production assistant. I was doing, you know, with the Braille and large print books. I was, just reassessing them and what have you. So the way I adjust is just that, I more took my time of doing things and rushing. Instead of dealing with regular print, I dealt with large print and just feeling my way around instead of me trying to do things on my own. So it was more of a slower process for me than for me doing a regular pace of walking or any activities that I do.
Usually when people have such a major event in their lives, like you had through loss of vision, you consider that they might take a back seat. But here you were, you had to, change your view in terms of where you wanted to go in your career.
Yes.
And you kept pace with that. And then you had a dream about being a model.
Yes.
Through your love for fashion, and you pursue that as well.
Correct.
How do you feel that you were able to? I know you said that you're a determined person, but then, with this happening, you must have thought to yourself, this is going to be equally as challenging or even more challenging for me now. So how were you able to work through that?
Well, like you said, it was challenging because even with the modeling, like you mentioned, when I first dealt with my coach, I said to her, what, do you think I can do it? She said, of course you can do it, but you just have to work twice as hard. So for me to be that person to just push, and I can't express anymore, I'm very determined. I persevere a lot, even though it might be take a longer time. I is the type person, like, listen, if I gonna get this done, I gonna get it done, and I'm not gonna stop until I get it done. So that's me.
Now, I know that you're here in Barbados.
Yes.
And you've not only let your success stop at Annalie's feet. So you've experienced a level of success in your modeling.
Yes.
And with your fashion, your love for fashion and so on,
Yes.
and you're kind of bringing other people along.
Yes.
I know that you're giving here in Barbados.
Yes.
Tell me about that initiative.
Well, yes. Let me just retract back a little bit back. When I had won that competition in 21, I had to set my place a platform where I wanted to give back. So my platform was to give back to the visually impaired and blind community, because I feel, as we don't be recognized a lot. So we like the bottom of the barrel. So this is where Not My Eyes Foundation was created, and the fashion show was created under the foundation. So the first year we started, we gave back to a organization called Foundation Fighting Blindness, and that was based out of New York. And so now it was the second year, which is this year, April passed. I said, you know what? Instead of giving to those fortunate in the States, they have it, but we in the islands, they don't have it, and they lack us many sources and resources. So, and it's also to bring awareness that just because we might have our disability or whatever the case may be, don't look at us, don't shine your face away from us. So this is the first time I started off, because Barbados is my birthplace. I started off with Barbados, and it was a pleasure and an honor to give to the Barbados Association for the Blind and Deaf. And based on yesterday's experience, I see where they are in dire need of that contribution.
That's right. I know that you gave the contribution yesterday. Talk to us about that ceremony and how it went. What are the areas that they desire the help, and your support, your wonderful support, will be helping?
Yes. So based on yesterday's experience, I saw because my husband, he was here with me along with my family, and they were speaking to us in regards to the software that these folks need as far as to use as far as the computers as technology. And they're 10 years behind as far as the technology along with the computer usage and what have you. So I do believe that that contribution will help them, even so when they were describing to us and showing us as well the caning of the chairs and, you know, the different things in different areas that they need. So I do believe that was a great choice of contributing that to them.
Well, thank you. It truly is wonderful that you decided to come and give back to your home, Barbados.
Yes.
And I want to step back to that April show that you put on,
Sure.
where you had 22 participants.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Oh my God, it was a phenomenal event where that we had 22, as you mentioned. This time we implemented the male models because the first year we didn't have male models. So our goal is, like I said, to bring awareness and to grow bigger and bigger each year. So my show is basically to display, we turn our devastation into determination, and to showcase not to the blind and visually impaired community, but society, just make a difference in society, period, that we can do anything. This was a phenomenal show where we had 9 designers, ranging from Ashley Stewart, Robert E. Knight, Curvaceous Boutique, Big Girls is Fly, Define Curves, Lace Couture, and Legendary LLC. And when we first started the first show, we only started off as 5 designers. So they just show you the growth between the first year and the second year, even in the attendance. The first year we had 175. This year we went over 200 attendees in the show. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see that these individuals went across the stage knowing that they're visually impaired and blind, because we did have assistance as far as they use their canes, some use the guide dogs, we also had male escorts as well.
Oh, you were
and
fancy
female.
with it.
Yes, I was very fancy with it. So it was a nice show and everybody enjoyed it. We even went virtual and we had over 200 people virtual, and it was those who were attended virtual say, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next show. They'll be there in attendance in person. So it was a great show, very phenomenal. And the show, what I love about the show is that basically, yes, it's a fashion showcase, but there's many testimonies behind it. Many women have said, I never walked in 3-inch heels before. You know, it made me feel confident.
And these are all ladies or people participating in the show, as you mentioned, who are visually impaired or blind.
Blind, yes. Yes.
So they had to get the heels on.
Yes,
they had to bring the heels out.
They had to bring the heels out, and you know, some actually model in lingerie, and you know, it was a really phenomenal show. It was very successful, and as I stated, as we bring on each show, we were able to raise money. This is where the proceeds that we contribute is through this show, and that's the vehicle that we use. It
certainly sounds like it is a truly empowering show.
Yes.
And then the end result is that you're able to help even more people.
Absolutely.
So I love that. For those viewing, for those who are tuned in to Morning Barbados, I would love for you to share what drives your own motivation and determination to keep going, even though you've had what a lot of people will deem as a major challenge, what a lot of people can see as a major setback. You have, you know, held on to it with both hands, and you're making it work for you and other people. So tell me what drives that motivation in you to keep going.
Sure. It's just like I mentioned before, it's just perseverance and the love of helping people, because I always ask God to bless me so I can bless others. And as long as I have that drive in me and to persevere, sky is beyond the limits, you know. So that's that's mainly it. It's just the love of helping people.
What's your hope for your organization going forward? And this Not My Eyes fashion showcase that you do every year is coming up again
Yes.
next April.
Yes.
So I know you're going to want to make it bigger
Yes.
and better, and it most certainly will. That will be. We're putting that out into the environment.
Yes.
So, what are your hopes for your organization as you move forward?
Well, my hopes, so far the hopes has come through because we actually, the 2 years past, I kind of was planning all of this production by myself. So we have created a team. Shout out to my team. And we looking forward to actually bringing forth on new people as well, because each year they go through different auditions. So they actually have to audition for it, and that it will get bigger and better, and that we be more recognized.
I certainly hope you're having a good time here back home. Do you come
Yes.
home regularly, or
Yes.
is this,
Yes,
one of
it's
those
regular.
trips?
It's regular. Yeah, I was here last year and the year before. So, yes,
So you definitely are having a good time at home.
absolutely, I am.
Good stuff. Where can we find you online?
Okay. You can find me on Anna Smith on Facebook, Not My Eyes Fashion Showcase on Facebook, Not My Eyes Foundation on Facebook, and Instagram is Plus Model Anna Lee on Instagram, Not My Eyes Foundation on Instagram, and we do have a TikTok, which is Not My Eyes Foundation on TikTok as well.
I know you also have a website, notmyeyes.com. I think you mentioned that too.
Yes.
I want to thank you for coming and sharing with us, Anna Lee Bowen-Smith, CEO, founder, and organizer of Not My Eyes Inc.
Yes.
It's wonderful to have you with us.
Thank
You
you.
have personality to boot with the beautiful face. And it's wonderful that you're doing so much, not only for you, but for others as well. So keep on your journey.
Yes.
And I wish you every success.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Hey, if you needed a little morning inspiration, this is it, and then some.
Morning, morning, morning.